Hello, and friends alike. This is Airplane 312 here, and here.
Travels Grand Adventures, one of the RVs that I'm driving. A basic Class C RV. You want to come in and show them? This is the kind, the cheap kind you can get that don't have the slide, that don't come out and not in and out. It's just like this all the time. Has the bed, the bathroom, the kitchen. What we call it, U-shaped dealio. This part comes out. Make another thing. Seat like 4 people, and then the overhead. Pretty neat, but it's like a basic rental RV. They might be turning it into a rent RV. I don't know.
I'll try to be very careful with this.
Yeah, most of the time I find like 5 or 6 screws by the time I get to wherever I'm going anyway. They don't make them look great.
And this probably is where the closet is.
Yeah, I guess.
There. This is the other side.
Bathroom's actually a pretty good size for this RV. I've seen smaller than that. I really like the industrial size fridge, and the freezer is huge. And it's on all the time, whether or not the house is on. But the freezer is actually on. They got it rigged directly to the batteries. I noticed that when I came in here, because this is usually where they keep all the crap. That's the curtain for the front, and then the cables and the harness and all that other stuff for the lighting. They keep in there in the book usually, the title and all that. But it's nice and cold and chilled. I could have had chilled drinks if I wanted to. I didn't know until the other night that was even on. But it's a nice big fridge.
And technically, he's not supposed to use it for that, but if you just put the standard water bottle in a sack, like a double sack and stuff, to prevent any leakage and stuff.
Keep everything clean. I could use it. I can when it's actually on all the time. I can use it like that. But I'm not supposed to be turning the house on and letting the fridge come on. But it's apparently wired to the solar or something, because it's been on the whole time. And the house disconnect battery thing is off. So this is one of the rare models that has the fridge going all the time, which is kind of neat.
And a nice standard convention oven.
Yeah. 2-burner classic stove, and then the hood range, and then your overheads up here that have little shelves for.
Yeah, if you're hearing that beeping stuff, that's actually the refrigerator beeping.
You know, your controls. Oh, not the controls in this one. If you had a more expensive RV that had all the jacks that come down and everything, all that would be in there, but they don't have none on this. Because it's bare bones nothing, so that's just a storage unit.
If we really had to and we're traveling and stuff, like a gun deal, this is actually a perfect place to put a gun.
Would be, yeah. So instead they have just the very basic controls down there, the lighting outside and your battery disconnect switch.
So there might be a little bit more view attached to this while he goes to Billings, Montana.
Yeah.
So this is just a segment that I can actually help him now for the quality and stuff.
Yeah, since I have a cameraman and all that, figured we would make a video on it. Some way or another, if this table unscrews, and then it would go out of the way, and then you can actually put another bed here. I discovered that the other night. This thing folds back, and it's an actual deal that flips over. Got door hinges on it, so you can make a whole bed.
I think these cushions right here are actually part of the bed.
Part of it, and then this is too. But it's pretty interesting. Just thought we'd show you the basic version of an RV you can get. This one's probably like, the expensive ones are $150,000. This one's probably just under $100,000, give or take, or they might rent it out.
If Grant had a choice and stuff between a van or something like this, he probably would choose
Yeah, well, I like these ones because they don't have to mess with the slide. Because the slides on these ones are just notorious for screwing up after they go in and out all the time. This is a much better, more open feel, in my opinion. If I had to go with something like this, but I'd rather have a Class B.
And we're not bashing all RVs and stuff. It's just for Grant and stuff, he has personal experiences driving them.
Yeah.
And usually you can drive something and you can actually tell the difference. It's like you go buy a brand new vehicle.
Yeah.
You can.
Driving this one is kind of nice. It's not so long. It's not one of the huge long 40 footers or whatever.
Let's say a Ford Explorer. You're driving a Ford Explorer. You get in the next following year. Say, oh, nothing else is gonna change and stuff.
Yeah.
And you can see the change. Or Chevy Blazer or Toyota Road, whatever Toyota has.
Yeah, Thor Motorhome, all that other kind of stuff. But anyway, that's it.
Okay, I just noticed something right here. Hopefully
yeah,
that's.
These my decals behind that.
Yeah, but this blind right here.
Yeah.
There.
See, I run with the decals in the windows on these because it's just easier than having them on the outside door, even though you're technically supposed to have them on the outside door. They let us get away with it.
Yeah, most states don't really care that much as long as it's nothing's blocking or.
Yeah, as long as it's visible from the outside for 100 feet or 200 feet out or whatever. This is the most important
I think it's
one.
150 feet.
Yeah, for the weight station, that's the most important decal.
It's 150 feet.
Yeah, something like that.
If it's wrong and you are actually a truck driver or you're actually transporting yourself, comment below and say, hey, it's actually by DOT law, it's actually this.
Yeah.
Do not say, oh, my state in California is this. And other states are different.
Yeah, each state is different on it.
Please cite the actual footage of how far back you have to be so it will be visible.
Yeah, but your higher end RVs have like the vent fans that actually have a fan that go in there all the time. These ones just have the cheap old thing that you can open it up and that's it for airflow. So this is like a cheaper version. You could very easily upgrade a few things in here and then make it like one of the more expensive ones and save yourself 50 grand. Give or take, by buying one of these.
And here's a cable deal for additional TVs and stuff, and switch.
Yeah, and then most of the more fancy ones have a puck light you can just click right here, but these are the actual switches for these lights. And they have one up there too if you're showing that one, which I find kind of weird. It's so cheap that they just put the light switch right next to the light instead of making one of the ones that you just touch it and it goes on. But you know, it's just little things. Not a big deal. I would much rather go with this than one of the more expensive ones because they get ripped off from the more expensive ones. But I'd go with the Class B before I go with the Class C, in my opinion, if you're gonna buy one. But in terms of Class C's, this is one of the better ones for what price-wise for what you get. But anyway, that should be it
Like and subscribe, and we'll see you
on the flip.